r/AskReddit, what is something that you believe every cannabis user should know? Or you might die. You gotta stay hydrated. Why does everybody say this? Is weed a diuretic? Hydrate or dihydrate? When deciding how many edibles you can always take more, but you can't take less. Also, they take time to kick in. Like half hour plus. Just because the first handful hasn't hit yet doesn't mean you aren't about to have a bad time. If you have an underlying mental health disorder, cannabis can negatively amplify the symptoms. This is so 100% true. Had underlying anxiety and other mental health issues throughout my high school years, never knew that greening out could cause it, so come out at 100 million%. Even 3 years since my incident with weed for the last time, these mental health effects still greatly affect my day-to-day life. It's not for everyone. Some people truly do experience severe anxiety, paranoia, or in some cases even temporary psychosis. People who have experienced these issues are not lying. They're not spreading misinformation. They're not exaggerating or fear-mongering. They're not regurgitating the DARE program from the 90s. Also, they don't care that you use marijuana and they don't want to take it away from you. Just don't dismiss their experience. Marijuana isn't for everyone. It's okay to accept that. Like, I love the high, for about the first 20 minutes. Then I'm just anxious and paranoid as hell. It affects your memory, as well as your memory. No matter what you eat, it's not enough. Sometimes enjoy that. Yeah, when I get munchies really bad, I try to add in a salad or fruit in the mix. Sometimes having something healthy can really help. And even if you're still hungry, at least you didn't finish off the second half of that bag of Doritos. God, this was me last night. 3 slices of pizza, some Oreos, a bowl of cereal and some Panda cookies. Was still hungry after. I know folks who have smoked/consumed for years and they're absolutely fine. I know folks who have smoked/consumed for years and they are complete burnouts. I know folks like me who, like me, when they smoke their anxiety goes through the roof. I know folks who are able to treat their ADD and their depression by self-medicating. I know folks that has gone terribly for. It hits some folks very differently than others. Everyone is different applies to all drugs, including cannabis. Cross joints are not worth the structural effort unless you are doing it for the swag points. And GT, unless you are doing it for the swag points. But let's be real, that's why we're doing it. Weed isn't a personality. If your smoke circle doesn't like who you are unless you act a certain way, find people who do and focus on them. You're worthy of more than being a caricature, or feeling forced to be someone you're not. And GT, weed isn't a personality. This but about everything. People enjoy being around other well-rounded people. If all you can talk about is weed, work, your kids, video games, etc., you're only gonna make friends with those people. You smell like weed, you're just nose blind to it. I lose my train of thought like crazy. Feels like I'm the guy in the film Memento. I'll be talking and then forget everything we've been talking about and be stuck not knowing how to finish my sentence. This realization hit me after I worked at a job for several years smoking before clocking in and at lunch. Granted, it was a large area that was well ventilated, but I know more than a few people had to smell me. Luckily I think everyone there smoked and I never got fired or even reported. I stopped smoking, and now when I'm around someone who smokes even outdoors, I'm like, yeah, everyone knew I smoked, lol. Medicinal benefits aside, if you smoke, it's still fucking smoke. Yes, this. It doesn't matter what it is, smoke is smoke because it contains particulates. It doesn't matter if it's wood or weed or tobacco. If you get panic attacks even on low doses, stop, you have anxiety and it's going to make it worse. I quit last summer, no panic attacks. Did you notice that it makes your anxiety worse even when you're not high? Like you smoked the night before and the next day your anxiety levels are higher than normal? I notice this when I smoke. The more often I smoke, the higher my baseline anxiety levels become. Sparkling water for when cotton mouth hits. Pamplemousse LaCroix is an existential experience when high, and kills the need for more munchies. The last thing the weed man is doing is drugging your kids at Halloween. I remember my wife and I reading an article about that, and she immediately said, bullshit. No one's giving away their weed for free. That's just a waste of drugs. Don't forget it affects your memory. This makes it sound like my drug dealer is still out here drugging kids on Halloween. Just checking things off the list. In states where marijuana is illegal, it's important for cannabis users to understand that while Delta-9 THC may be restricted, Delta-9 THC edibles derived from hemp, link are legal in all states due to the 2018 Agricultural Improvement Act. Even though it's derived from hemp, it's the same cannabinoid that gets you high. I have traveled to several different states with it in my carry-on and haven't had any issues explaining it to anyone. Delta-9 will get you high AF. The first time I was just like, this is weed, I'm high. If you struggle with intrusive thoughts and have a family history of schizophrenia, THC is not for you, especially if you are under 25. If you are a teen, you are permanently damaging your brain. Bingo. Your brain is developing until your mid-20s. Complacency is one of worst side effects it has. Well, Stan, the truth is marijuana probably isn't gonna make you kill people, and it most likely isn't gonna fund terrorism, but, well son, pot makes you feel fine with being bored, and it's when you're bored that you should be learning some new skill or discovering some new science or being creative. If you smoke pot, you may grow up to find out that you aren't good at anything. Randy Marsh. I've been a heavy user for 30 years, and the biggest pitfall is that it makes it okay when things are not okay. It simply pats on your head and shoulder telling you are doing great no matter how bad you are doing. Does it affect the memory overall or just when you are high? Dreams are more vivid and easy to recall when you quit smoking weed. Worst part of coming off it for any length of time. Dreams so vivid I can't sleep through the night. Currently going through it, every night feels like I'm in some VR video game, and when I wake up it doesn't feel like I even slept. Mine are also extremely lucid. You can use pipe cleaners to clean your pipes. Please wash your outerwear. You go outside to smoke, and I appreciate that, but you're always wearing the same jacket, and it reeks. I have a smoking robe for this reason. I only wear it to smoke and I wash it separately. Crazy how hard it is to wash out that smell. You can get addicted to cannabis. It's different type of addiction than alcohol or opioids, but you can get addicted nonetheless. Yep. And like a lot of substance addictions, your potential for cross-addiction to alcohol or other drugs is high. You might quit one and pick up another, then go back to your primary one. Some folks just can't use any mind-altering substance safely. Cannabis-induced psychosis exists, but it is rare. Also, if you have a condition that causes hallucinations and delusions, such as bipolar and AMP, schizophrenia, it can increase those symptoms. You are right, I am bipolar, type 1, and weed is prohibited, because it aggravated my high paranoia and may lead to severe psychosis. But, I must say, in my case any drugs is bad. The problem is people telling me that weed can't do that and that is an harmless drug. I've heard it affects the memory. Well, Stan, the truth is marijuana probably isn't gonna make you kill people, and it most likely isn't gonna fund terrorism, but, well son, pot makes you feel fine with being bored, and it's when you're bored that you should be learning some new skill or discovering some new science or being creative. Stop driving high PLS. This. I ride a motorcycle in New York and can smell it coming from every other car. I absolutely love weed and encourage you to smoke some whenever you feel like it, but not when you're driving. You're making bad decisions out here, folks. Yes. It drives me crazy. It is absolutely driving under influence. For the love of God, don't throw your joints on the lawn. Dogs eat that shit and it fucks them up. And if your dog eats weed and you have to take them into the vet, be honest with the doc. Stuff happens, you didn't feed it to the dog, they want to help your dog, they could care less about reporting you. Don't forget to bring a towel. It's not a fucking miracle drug, legalizing weed will not automatically make Earth's utopia. And stop making it your personality. Sincerely. Someone who also smokes weed. Based on my experience of a 20-year-long habit, averaging an ounce per week. Long-term usage will give you mental health issues. It also makes you lazy. Stay hydrated. An ounce a week? Dude. If you're smoking an ounce a week, you've got much larger issues than weed. You can claim you're not addicted all you want, but if people can tell you've not had a joint by how much they have to tiptoe around you, then you're addicted. Goes for pretty much anything. If it's causing trouble in your life and you won't stop doing it, you got a problem. If you are a heavy smoker and quit, you will experience withdrawals. It can range from trouble sleeping, loss of appetite, crazy dreams, to anxiety and crazy restlessness. Unlike other substances, there is nothing that really mitigates weed withdrawal. Nothing to panic about, it will go away in a few days, but just know it can happen. Also, check your keep catch, if you're like me you've forgotten for the last month and have a shit ton. Intention matters, It's important to remember that not everyone uses substances in college. In fact, according to the National College Health Assessment, 2/3 of CU students reported not having used marijuana within the past 3 months. However, if you choose to use marijuana, think through the experiences you want to have as well as those you'd rather avoid. Knowing how you want to use marijuana and what you want to experience can help you tailor your use to avoid unwanted experiences and think through other ways to get the outcome you want. Get your mental health in check. I work in the industry and it has caused me to question whether it should be so available. Everyone I work around is an emotional wreck with victim mentality. I guess it's a chicken or the egg scenario, but it has caused me to question my career choices and who I'm surrounded by. The lack of work ethic is astounding too. I have loved this plant most of my life, so it's been hard to see these things. Inhaling burned leaf smoke is bad for you. Whether it's from tobacco or weed. Don't bogart that joint, my friend. Pass it over to me. It's a joint, not a microphone. Also, it's a joint, not a dick. Stop slobbering on it. Grapes. They're fucking sparkle bombs of snacks when hot. Just don't eat too many or mix it up with some other fruits. Drink more water. Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1,000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again. Reddit glitch out.